welcome to Club 5, episode 20 of The Pilgrimage on FM24. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode, I've got the outcome of the interview at Tottenham Hotspur, and then hopefully 2 games for you in the Premier League. So let's get straight into it, and we'll find out whether I got the Tottenham job in just a moment. Okay, well, as you can see, Tottenham have got back to me and have informed me that they've decided against offering me the job. They said they were satisfied with my plans that I put forward in the interview, but ultimately decided I wasn't the right person to take the club forward, and I've gone with Marco Rosa instead. He is, or was, the manager of Leeds United, and as you can see, I have submitted an application for the now vacant job at Leeds United. So I'll let you know how that one goes later in the episode, but now it's time for the first match of the episode, and the team for that one is coming up in just a moment. Okay, the first match of today's episode is a home Premier League game against Bournemouth. Team for this one: Verbruggen in goal, back 4 of Aït-Nouri, Darling, Leandri and Iwu. Wharton at the base of midfield, João Gomes and Gore ahead of him, Diego Lopez on the left wing, Franco on the right wing, Silva up front. So let's submit the team and go and give a team talk. Okay, my assistant is recommending we're all sick and tired of getting bad results. Go out there and change that starting now. I'm going to disagree with him. I'm going to point the finger and go with Bournemouth have lost all of their last 5 league games, and I expect us to pile on the misery today. So let's go out there and see if we can do exactly that. And we're not in great form ourselves, but we're in very slightly better form than Bournemouth, despite the fact they are currently 6 points above us in the league. So it's an ideal opportunity to close that gap. And it is Luis Junior with a goal kick. Launches it long, but Darling wins the header, finds Lopez. Aït-Nouri. Back to Darling. Plays it into Wharton. Finds Gore. On to Franco, back to Leandri, into midfield for Wharton, plays it to the left for Diego Lopez, takes on his man, he's into the area, gets the shot away, keeper makes the save and Franco takes it out of play. And the highlight will come to an end. So now we get another highlight, Iwu with the throw in, Franco gives it back to him, Wharton to Leandri, into João Gomes, finds Lopez, plays it into Gore, who has the shot, and he's not far away, but it is over the top, and the highlight comes to an end. So I'm going to offer encouragement because we're playing quite well at the moment, and that's gone down okay, not brilliantly, but it's gone down okay with the lads. And we are on top with a better team. So the next one's going to be a praise. And that's gone down, again, mixed. Still 0-0, 35 minutes gone. Is there going to be a breakthrough before the half-time whistle? Or are we going to have to try and engineer something in the second half? We've got a corner. It's Lopez with the ball in. Iwu with the attempt on goal, and Luis Junior with the comfortable save. He launches it downfield. Leandri wins his header, finds Gore, to Lopez, into Gore, plays it to Franco, on to Fabio Silva, who puts the ball in the back of the net, and it is Wolves 1, Bournemouth 0. So we do have the first half breakthrough we were looking for. I am going to add work ball into box as suggested by my newly appointed assistant manager. We're doing well. We can definitely find another gear. He's absolutely right. So let's point the finger and agree with him. and let's have a look at how tired the players are and if anyone's playing badly enough to justify taking them off. Answer in both cases is no, everything's fine. The only change I would consider would be Leandri, who's on a yellow card for Mosquera, and in fact I'm going to do it. I don't want to risk going down to 10. So we'll make one change and we'll get out there for the second half. And let's see if we can build on what's been a decent start. Iwu with the throw in into Gore. Iwu to Franco, on to Gore. Cuts it back and Bournemouth get it clear. Mosquera wins the header. Wharton to Iwu. He's played it back to Mosquera, into Wharton. Gomez to Gore. Back to Darling. Finds Aitnori on the left. And Aitnori pulls it back for João Gomez. Aitnori again. João Gomez to Diego Lopez. His shot finds the back of the net. And it is Wolves 2, Bournemouth 0. So 2 goals either side of half time. Surely enough for us to grab win number 3 of the season. And we've dragged Bournemouth right back into the relegation picture. Their lead over us now just 3 points. And they are currently in a position of safety. Traore's ball in. Kirkes crosses. And Anthony Gordon applies the finish and cuts the deficit in half. Franco needs to come off. But not until after this free kick. So we can do it now. So Franco for Nyangbo, and also I'm going to take Iwu off and bring on Jordan Teze. Why not? And we'll confirm that. So we've made 3 subs and used 1 window. And now I think we've got to take Aitnori off and bring on Guindo. And my final change is going to be Gore coming off to be replaced by Tahumchu, as Darling has an effort at goal but is off target. We're into the final 5 minutes plus any added time, and we've got 7 minutes of that to survive. So hopefully we can hold on for a 2-1 win, and that is full time. Wolves 2, Bournemouth 1. I'll be back in a moment with the second match of today's episode. Okay, well, following the victory in that game against Bournemouth, we have been offered an interview for the Leeds job. So let's get into it. And so we're being welcomed in. They're glad I've come along, and they want to discuss the club's vision should they decide to hire me. So we'll tell them it's great to be here and let's get started. Considerable reservations about the fact that you have shown a tendency to spend only a short amount of time at a club. Why has that been the case so far in your career? What am I going to say? Never been nervous to move around if I felt it would benefit my career. The fact I'm attending this interview vindicates my approach. You're currently underperforming at Wolves. This is the case of you looking to jump before being pushed. We're turning things around. Why have you felt it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs whilst employed by another team throughout your career? I will always put my own best interests first. We'll go with that. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies citing your inability to cultivate a strong dressing room atmosphere. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? That was the exception rather than the rule. Or no, actually no, I'll say I've learned from it, because that's turning it into a positive. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies citing your inability to command the support of your players. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? There will be no problems with dressing room atmosphere. Taking everything into account right now, the club is probably overachieving to a degree. Could you keep that going? I've almost made a career out of pushing players beyond expectations. Hope I can keep the good times going. Would you be able to take charge straight away or at a later date? I want to go straight away. Am I happy to work with Nick Hammond, the director of football? Yeah, I'm familiar with Nick Hammond, so absolutely willing to work with him. They are willing to allow me to request changes to the backroom staff. Well, given that I've just lost my assistant manager and I don't really know the guy I've replaced him with, I'm not going to make any changes. I'm not going to take any of my backroom staff with me if I get the job. So no changes. And on to the club vision for the future. Play defensively solid football, that's fine. Possession football, likewise, that's fine. Make the most of set pieces, again, fine. High tempo pressing football, that's what I'm doing at the moment. Sign players under the age of 20. Well, that's part of my current club's philosophy. Work within the wage budget, likewise, as is grow the club's reputation. 4-year contracts for first team players, more than happy to comply with that. 1-year contract for players over 32, well, I would prefer that to be none, so I'm absolutely going to agree with all of that. And then in terms of the 5-year plan, they want us to be competitive in the Champions League, mid-table in the Premier League, and competitive in both the Cups, and continue to finish mid-table, but eventually challenge for domestic cup honours. So I'd be happy to work with those. They would expect a mid-table position. They're currently 6th, so that's fine. I'm happy with that. Transfer budget of 5.41 million. Yeah, that's fine. Wage budget of 2.7 million, nearly 2.8 million a week. Yep, I'm happy with that. And is there anything else I want to ask for? No, there's not. So that's the end of the interview. I'll be back in a moment to either let you know how that's gone or bring you match number 2 of today's episode. Okay, well, with a 13-day gap before the next game after we played Bournemouth, it was always likely that Leeds were going to come back to us before the next match against Everton, and they have come back and they have offered me the job. So let's get into negotiations and secure the Leeds job. So they're offering me a 2-year contract on 55,000 a week, which compares to my current salary of 13,350 a week. So I am just going to accept the offer and confirm myself as the new manager of Leeds, and I'll be back with the official announcement in just a moment. Okay, well, it is official in a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate. Jamie Sheehan has left Wolves to join divisional rivals Leeds. Sheehan, who famously knocked Man United out of the FA Cup in 2028, Supporters are excited at the potential of similarly memorable moments under their new manager. Questions will be raised as to why she made the decision to take up a different job within the same division, but he will face pressure to bring immediate success to Ellen Road given his former employers and a previous standing. Marco Silva was considered to be the favourite for the job, but it's unclear whether the club favoured Sheehan all along. Wolves will now be looking for a new manager. Leeds are currently on a 5-match unbeaten league run and find themselves in 6th place in the Premier League. Leeds have won 3 of their last 5 games in the league. So with that sorted, I will be back in a moment to introduce you to the Leeds squad that I'll be inheriting. Okay, here is the Leeds squad as it stands at the moment. It's quite large. I will be looking to demote some of them, but we can at least get a flavour of what the squad looks like at the moment. And given that there's 2 reasonably competent right backs, we've got 5 pretty decent central defenders. We've got a good left back and a not so good left back. We've got defensive midfielders. We've got central midfielders who are there's a couple of competent ones in there and some not so competent ones. In fact, there's a good 3 or 4 decent central midfielders. There's a decent right winger. There's a decent left winger. And we've got 1 really, really good striker. So it does look like they're very much set up for a 4-3-3 of some description. So that does look like what we'll be looking to do. So I'll be back in a moment to round off the episode by showing you the Premier League table as it stands today and telling you what's coming up on the first episode as Leeds United manager. Okay, well, as you can see, we are currently occupying a European place with 36 points from 22 matches played. So we're 4 points off a Champions League spot and only 3 points off being outside of the European places altogether, and we're well clear of trouble at the bottom of the league. So all looking like it's setting itself up nicely for qualification for European football of some flavour or other. So let's have a look at what's coming up on the next episode, and I'm going to have to show you the Champions League game against Marseille, which will be my opening game in charge, and then the Premier League game away to Bournemouth. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.